In the previous video, we found a solution to our function x squared minus 25, and it happened to be x equals 5. So x equals 5 is a solution to this function. But we know from mathematics that that's not the only solution to this function. There happens to be another one. There happens to be when x equals negative 5, I also get a solution. And so why haven't we found that answer? Why did solver converge to this number, positive 5, as opposed to this number, negative 5? And the answer lies in the initial guess that we supplied solver to begin with. So one caveat, one disadvantage of using solver or any type of numerical method for solving nonlinear equations is that generally that solver can't find more than one solution at a time. So solver can't find more than one solution at a time. It may find one solution, but if your function is a polynomial, for instance, where there are more than one root to your equation, then solver will only find one. And it's up to you to understand that and then to try and find the other solutions using different initial guesses for solver in order to get the other solution. So what I mean by that is when we put in the number 1 here, I said that that value was an initial guess for solver to start the solution process. So when we put in the number 1 here, we go to solver. Then solver starts off with the initial number of 1, and it uses that as a starting guess to solve my f of x equation. And when we do it, we get the value 5. So for an initial guess of 1, we get an answer of 5. What if we choose an initial guess of, let's say, negative 4? If we put in an initial value of negative 4 into cell A2, my f of x is no longer 0. Negative 4, x equals negative 4, is not a root of my function. But what it is it's just a different initial guess to solver. So instead of putting in positive 1, I'm putting in negative 4 now. I go back to solver. Again, I'm going to set my objective to cell B2. I'm going to make sure that it goes to a value of 0. I'm going to change cell A2. So I haven't changed anything with the setup of the solver. All I've done is I've put in minus 4 here as opposed to positive 1. And what I want to do is I just want to make sure that this box is unchecked to make sure that I can get negative values. And when I click solve, what do you know? I get negative 5 now. So now the answer that solver produces isn't positive 5 anymore, it's negative 5. And why is it negative 5? It's negative 5 because I've given solver an initial guess that was different to before. So before I put in positive 1, I got the answer positive 5. If I put in negative 4, I get the answer negative 5. So this is the other solution to my equation. I can check it because 4.38 times 10 to the negative 7 is essentially 0. I mean, it's pretty much 0. So x equals negative 5 is a solution to my equation. It just so happens that it's a different solution to as before because I've given it an initial guess that is different to before. So if I put in any other initial guess, let's say minus 10, I could try solve again. For a value of negative 10, what solution will I get? Yeah, I'll get negative 5 because negative 10 is probably closer to negative 5 than it is to positive 5. If I put in an initial guess of 100, which is very positive, it's a very positive initial guess. If I click on solver, it converges to positive 5. So we know from mathematics that there are two solutions to this equation. It's up to us. Solver won't know how many solutions there are. So it's up to us to try different initial guesses so that we find all of the solutions to our function.